Good morning and welcome back to GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're coming back from day one, which was very insightful, thank you for tuning in once again. We at GS1 Kenya truly thank you. Yesterday was truly marvelous and incredible. We had an exciting panel and an exciting array of presenters. We had Ian Mageto who presented on the evolution of 1D to the 2D barcodes. And then from there, we were digitizing agriculture with Rhoda Moses. So thank you to those presenters. And let me say something. Today we have a packed day. We have three wonderful presenters who have so much insights and they're brilliant when it comes to the sectors that they manage. We have healthcare, which will be presented by Nelson John. And moving on, we'll have retail, where it will be Regan Gitao. And after that, we'll be in the construction industry, building with traceability. So if you missed the first sessions, which were on day one, I'd like to inform you that we do have a YouTube channel called Traceability TV. And over there, we will be posting the sessions from Traceability Week. So why don't you go there and subscribe to our channel and you'll be able to not miss a single thing. And from there, I'd like to, just speaking of Traceability TV, I'd like to remind you that we are live on Traceability TV. And if you're joining us from Traceability TV, hello, thank you for tuning in. And just to remind you that from Traceability TV, we do have an array of documentaries and news updates. So it's not just about Traceability Week over there. It's a world of traceability, and traceability is important for any modern day and responsible business, and just for you as a consumer. So as I said, I do have a day packed with so much surprises. I do want to thank our sponsors for the week, and that is Bakers, Aquabreeze, and Sunvid. Thank you so much for sponsoring our event. And from there, I will tell you that if you are able to answer one or two questions that I might have for you, I might just give you a lovely surprise. Now, to start us off, I will be speaking about our first presenter of the day. His name is Nelson John. He is the team leader here for industrial engagement here at GS1 Kenya. And we're going to shift our focus to a sector where traceability can literally save lives, and that is in the healthcare sector. It is my pleasure to introduce someone who works closely with industries to implement practical and impactful solutions, and that is Nelson John for you. So if you're a member of GS1 Kenya, I am sure that you have had an engagement or two with him. Nelson has been at the forefront of helping businesses adopt global standards that enhance safety, efficiency, and trust across all supply chains. Today, he's here to speak on a topic that couldn't be more critical: better tracking, safer patients, where he'll walk us through how accurate and product data traceability can help ensure patient safety and improve healthcare outcomes. From hospitals to manufacturers, traceability in the healthcare sector is no longer just something nice to have. It is a must. And Nelson is here to show us how. So please help me in giving a warm welcome to Nelson John. GS1 operates under the...
Thank you, Miriam, for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session. Today, we'll explore a vital topic in healthcare, that is improving traceability at the point of care using GS1 standard. Point of care traceability refers to the real-time tracking and documentation of clinical activities, products, interactions at the exact location where patient care is delivered, such as hospital bed, operating room, or outpatient clinic. It ensures that every action, e.g., administering a drug, using a device, performing a procedure, is accurately linked to the right patient, the right product or intervention, the right time and place, and the right healthcare provider. One may wonder, why do we need point-of-care traceability? With traceability, we are able to achieve a number of benefits at the point of care, which include about 4 aspects in the care journey. Number 1, patient safety. Patient safety globally is among the key primary goals of healthcare, and traceability directly contributes to it by ensuring that medications are verifiable before they are administered, We know the right patient is receiving the right medication. We're also able to prevent wrong medications, expired products, real-time allergens are able to be identified. I'll give you a simple example. If a caregiver would like to administer certain medicine, they can simply scan the barcode on the product. This enables them to identify and understand, am I actually administering the right product? Is this the right patient? All this action enables us to eliminate any possibilities of preventable harm. Number two, accountability and compliance. With point of care traceability, we are able to have a clear and auditable trail of who performed the procedure or administered the product, what was used, when and where it occurred. This level of transparency supports internal audits and performance reviews. It enables professional accountability in that all caregivers are aware that any action I perform can easily be traceable and identified at any given time. Lastly, or before, support for products and recalls. The supply chain for medication is very, very broad. There could be instances where we may need to do a recall. With point of care traceability, medication and supply chain agents are able to effectively identify and understand which produce was delivered to which location, which hospitals, what were the specific batches in question, what are the cereals that were given out at all the facilities in question. And lastly, a key cornerstone for patient safety traceability at the point of care, better clinical outcomes. With better clinical outcomes through traceability, we are able to identify and also reduce a number of key things that may happen. Hospitals, stakeholders are able to actively improve whatever thing they are doing. This enables us to have continuous improvements along the entire supply chain loop, but also ensuring that we are doing clinical researches with quality information throughout the entire care journey. From the numerous benefits we've seen, we can all agree that point of care traceability is important for our various care centers. However, there are still a number of gaps that are limiting this visibility. Among them is paper-based documentation. A number of caregivers use poor handwriting, and with poor handwriting, we are unable to understand some of the contents that are written down. Also, we are unable to update in real time. Imagine you are assigned to do a search across numerous documents. You may not be able to easily find what you are looking for. We are also unable to standardize this across facilities because as patients, today you are in one facility, the other day you are in another. That visibility is lost if we are using paper-based documentation in our care centers. The other notable gap is lack of interoperability between systems. Most of the care centers today rely on legacy system. You find that one facility has their own standalone system, while the other also has another standalone system. These systems are not currently communicating because of maybe the various incompatible formats that are used in the way they communicate data across departments. Also, data is fragmented across departments. You may go to a certain department, they ask for your name again. They can't even trace which medication was given to you in this facility last week. All these gaps are still making us unable to achieve the kind of visibility and traceability that we would like to have at the point of care. The other notable traceability gap at point of care is limited visibility into last mile usage. As you may be aware, the current level of traceability that we have about the various medications that we receive normally stops at the facility. Me as a patient or someone who has visited an hospital, I'm unable to understand where maybe a given medication was gotten from or sourced from. The facility itself cannot tell which patients were given which medication. It's also really hard to do a recall in case of maybe a certain side effect to various patients. I'm sure many hospitals may not be able to easily recall because there is no visibility. The tracking only stops at the inventory level. There's no linkage that is currently happening with various patients and the hospital systems. Departments are not communicating efficiently. All these are still hindering traceability at the point of care. Having understood the various traceability gaps that exist, we then seek for a solution. As GS1 Kenya, through the adoption and development of global standards for traceability, we are actively supporting and implementing the standards at the care points in our country. How do we do this? By simply identifying key data that is linked to various traceable events at the care point, capturing this information accurately, and having it shared in a seamless and comparable manner across systems. As explained earlier, the first step in achieving traceability is identifying the various components that are involved in traceability. At the point of care, we have three key traceable components. Number one, patients and caregivers, the people who support us at the point of care, the assets, products that we interact with, and the locations where all these activities take place. We identify them, capture information about them, and then share this across the entire journey. Patients and caregivers identified using the GS1 Global Service Relation Number, which is a global ID that enables us to capture information about the patients and caregivers, then share this information consistently across departments and systems. Pharmaceutical products and medical devices are identified using the GS1 Global Trade Item Number. This enables us to ensure that every unit of medication, be it a syringe, implant, or device, has its own GTIN, enabling us to have no ambiguity about what is being used. Let's explore how we capture data about the medical devices and pharmaceuticals. We use the GS1 data matrix, a 2D barcode symbol that enables us to capture additional information, including the batch number, expiry, serial number, and manufacture date. Hospital assets and equipment are identified using the GS1 Global Individual Asset Identifier. The individual asset identifier captures key information about the medical devices, which involve routine maintenance data, calibration data, and certification. At the point of care, scanning this identifier enables us to keep track of all the key information that is shared across departments during the assets usage. Lastly, locations are identified using the GS1 Global Location Number. The GLN enables us to keep track of everything that happens in every specific room in our care centers. To help us better understand how point of care traceability is implemented, we shall use our simple hospital use case above. From the hospital use case diagram, we can observe the core departments and operational areas within a typical hospital, highlighting how patients interact with the system and how internal processes are managed. Let's walk through the key locations and their roles in ensuring traceability. Number one, the ward. The ward is where patients, primarily inpatients, receive treatment and undergo examination. Multiple traceable events occur here, such as administering medication, monitoring vitals, and interactions with medical staff. Traceability in the ward is vital to ensure accurate patient care and documentation. We have the theater. This is where both minor and major surgical procedures take place. The theater is a high-risk area where traceability is critical, not just for the procedures themselves, but also for tracking the use of surgical instruments and medical devices and consumables. Many incidents in theaters have underscored the importance of robust traceability systems to ensure patient safety and accountability. The pharmacy. The pharmacy manages drug inventory and dispenses medication to patients. It plays a key role in ensuring that the right medication is given to the right patient at the right time. Traceability here is for managing stock levels, preventing medical errors, and ensuring regulatory compliance. The other key location is the reception. The reception handles patient administration and customer service. It's often the first point of contact where critical patient data is collected. Accurate capture of patient biodata is essential for ensuring traceability throughout the patient journey. In the event of a product recall or clinical issue, this data enables the hospital to trace and contact affected patients quickly and effectively. We have the receiving dock. This is where the hospital receives all supplies, including drugs, medical devices, and equipments. Capturing detailed metadata at this stage, e.g., batch numbers, expiry dates, supplier information, is essential for upstream traceability. It allows the hospital to link every item in use back to its origin, ensuring accountability and simplifying recalls if necessary. The laboratory. The lab conducts diagnostic tests and analyzes samples from patients. It also tests incoming drugs or devices. The data generated here is vital for informed patient care and supports the broader traceability framework by linking test results to specific patients, treatments, and medical products. Lastly, we have the laundry. This department manages hospital linen and ensures hygiene standards are maintained. Although often overlooked, it plays a key role in infection control and operational efficiency. Traceability here involves tracking usage, cleaning cycles, and inventory levels of reusable materials such as gowns, beddings, and towels. A final thought: why do we need all this traceability? From whatever we've explored about this mid-hospital setup, a quick question arises. How do we ensure accurate and consistent traceability across all these departments and operations? A well-integrated traceability system covering people, processes, equipment, and data enhances patient safety, ensures regulatory compliance, and improves overall hospital efficiency. It transforms isolated departmental activities into a coordinated and accountable care journey. We've looked at our mini hospital and the various locations and the key activities that we need to trace. Let's now look at how we implement GS1 standards in achieving this traceability. We start by identifying the key stakeholders. These are the patients and the caregivers. The GS1 Global Salvation Number enables us to have this visibility and data about these key stakeholders captured. We then move on to identify the various medical devices and pharmaceutical products. For the medical devices, we use the GS1 Unique Device Identifier, normally linked with the GT, to capture key information about the various devices that is traceable. For the pharmaceutical products, we use the Global Trade Item Number that is captured in the data matrix and all the other metadata to be traceable around the entire system. The logistics. Logistics are captured using the serial shipping container code. The serial shipping container code is a GS1 identifier that enables us to capture key information about the logistic unit. This could be the number of cartons that have come in. We want to know who delivered this produce, where did it come from, what are the details about this produce, the consignment and everything. We also have to identify our assets. Assets are identified using the GS1 Global Individual Asset Identifier, that is for in-house assets, or we use the GS1 Global Returnable Asset Identifier in case these assets are movable across various departments or across various hospital locations. We then have to also identify our various locations in the hospital, the ones which we talked about, the theaters, the laundry area, the pharmaceutical area, the laboratory. The GS1 Global Location Number enables us to have this visibility. All key data and activities that happen in this location are captured through the Global Location Number and then shared across the system. We have two kinds of GSRN. We have the patient GSRN and we have the medical personnel GSRN. The patient GS1 enables us to link key information about the patient that may include the date of admission, where they located, their contact details, the guardian, and the invoicing. For the clinical officers, the GS1 enables us to have all the activities and the tasks that they perform to be linkable to them. In the example above, you can see we have the nurse there that is offering the patient their lunch. And in the next room, we have an operation and taking place. We can be able to identify every person that is in that theater, at what point are they in the theater, what are they doing, what key things are they operating with. Then we have the lab technician or even the pharmacist who is currently managing the inventory. We are able to, in real time, understand what activity they perform. This enables us have more visibility, but also be accountable of every activity that is being done by our key personnel. In our hospital, we have a number of pharmaceutical products, but and also medical devices. These medical devices come with the GTINs and unique device identifiers that are assigned by the manufacturer. We then capture this information in our ERPs and then interact with the devices as we offer our various medication procedures and interactions across the entire hospital facility. With these GS1 identifiers and capture standards, we are able to have a visibility of all the interactions as shown in this picture. You see, we have the location uniquely identified with the GLN. We have the assets, which is an oxygen cylinder that is also identified with the GIA. We have the patient that has the GSRN and the various medical providers. And even you can also see that the product that is being used, in this case, which is a syringe, is also identified with the GTIN. GS1 standards enable all this visibility, and we call upon all key stakeholders to embrace this standardization across your facilities. Moving on to the next step, I want to give you a small video that will enable you understand better how, as GS1 globally, through our standards, we are able to achieve this visibility, but also sustain you on how to implement this.
Healthcare organizations strive to deliver the best and safest care for their patients. Therefore, it is critical that the right medical staff uses the right assets and the right products in the right location at the right time for the right patient. A common language helps healthcare organizations to make this possible across the clinical patient pathway. GS1 standards for identifying, capturing and sharing information provide this common language. All healthcare organizations can use this language to ensure quality of care and reliable exchange of information between IT systems. Scanning the barcodes containing GS1 identifiers enables visibility of all activities within the patient pathway. This ensures full traceability of products such as medications and medical devices. This helps improve safety and efficiency at every step of the clinical patient pathway. The clinical patient pathway covers the journey of a patient through a healthcare facility. A journey that consists of multiple points of care at different locations or departments across a facility, involving different stakeholders, including the patient and care providers themselves. At every point of care, products, assets and medical devices are ordered, delivered, used or returned. Medication is prescribed and information is exchanged. Data needs to be captured to ensure patients' records are accurate throughout their stay and when they leave. Throughout the clinical patient pathway, specific GS1 identifiers are used to identify people, products, assets, and locations. Let's have a closer look. The GSRN, short for Global Service Relation Number, is used to uniquely identify patients, caregivers, or other hospital staff. This identifier allows people to be linked to an intervention, activity, or to steps in a process. The GTIN stands for Global Trade Item Number and is used for the identification of products of all types such as medication, surgical instruments, implants, medical consumables, or disposable items. Materials that are applied in the hospital, such as patient monitoring devices, respirators, IV pumps or patient beds, are defined as assets. The GIAI, short for Global Individual Asset Identifier, is used for these assets. The GLN, short for Global Location Number, is used for the identification of locations ranging from facilities or treatment areas to storage locations, patient rooms or bed bays. The use of these identifiers enables the connection of the shared healthcare supply chain to clinical work and outcomes by enabling full traceability, and in doing so, helps to optimize patient safety and operational efficiency at each step of the clinical patient pathway, at every point of care. To get the right product to the right place at the right time for a specific patient, the healthcare supply chain connects to each step in the clinical patient pathway. The healthcare supply chain is a shared process between clinical and non-clinical stakeholders. In parallel to the physical movement of products, data and insights are collected and interchanged continuously between manufacturers, suppliers, healthcare organizations, and registries. Although this supply chain is unique for every healthcare organization, we can identify the following general steps. A manufacturer produces products or assets. These are shipped to distributors and wholesalers, or sometimes directly to a health provider. The internal logistics team distributes the products or assets within the healthcare organization, making sure that these are available at the right location, at the right time. Wristband scanning is done to confirm patient identity, and the data is captured into the electronic patient's record. When medications and medical devices are used, these are scanned, verified to prevent errors, and also uploaded to the patient's record. The same product scan updates hospital supply chain data. This helps, for instance, to manage inventory control, to assist procurement, and to collect data needed for registries or research. It is also used for expiry date control and to return unused products in time. Furthermore, the data is of great importance to standardize post-market surveillance or in the event of a product recall. Insights help to determine where caregiving, supporting, and supply processes can be optimized. This is of interest for all stakeholders in healthcare. Together, they can create safer and more efficient care. Scanning barcodes that hold GS1 identifiers connects the healthcare supply chain to clinical work and outcomes, making it a shared supply chain between clinical and non-clinical stakeholders. The identifiers are part of a common language that helps healthcare organizations and their suppliers to better connect and cooperate, and to achieve full traceability of products. The implementation and use of GS1 identifiers helps to create the best and safest care for patients in the most efficient way at every step of the clinical patient pathway.
I believe that video was quite informative and educative, and I would like to now take this opportunity to call every one of you to embrace the GS1 standards. Use the GGNs, the GLNs, the GSRNs and DIs for complete traceability in your facilities. Digitize your point of care. Equip your staff with scanning tools. Integrate your systems with our standards. Standardize all the processes that take place in your facilities. The clinical workflows, the medications, the administration and everything, the devices and inventory. Most importantly, educate your teams. Train all clinical and operational staff on the value and use of traceability systems. As we work together across departments, we are able to achieve full traceability at our point of care facilities. As GS1 Kenya, we've put it a step further by having a center of excellence where you will come and understand on how we are able to achieve point of care traceability in real time. Thank you for listening to me. Let's make traceability happen where it matters most, the point of care. My contacts are displayed above. You can always reach out for us to engage further in how we can achieve this traceability. Back to you, Miriam.
Thank you so much for that insightful presentation, Nelson. I'm here seated with Nelson, and we will keep the conversation going. So if you have any questions for Nelson, the chat is open. You can ask him as many questions as you want about the healthcare sector and regarding his presentation, and he'll be sure to answer it. So we'll keep the conversation going, and I'll be giving him some questions for him to be able to give us a broader perspective and to even have an even deeper look at what he just presented on patient safety. So before we begin, I'd like to inform you once again that the chat is open. If you have any question, if you're from the healthcare sector, or you're just simply curious about patient safety, the chat is open and you can ask as many questions as you want. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, Aquabreeze, Sunbit, and Fires Bakers for sponsoring this event. And I may or may not have some gifts for you if you interact with us and engage with us. I will have some gifts for you. So please be attentive, be keen, and answer my questions, or even ask Nelson any question. And once again, if you're watching from Traceability TV, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you'd like to see Nelson's presentation from what he's just presented, we'll also be posting that on Traceability TV. We will have a Mentimeter on your screen, and we just want to engage with you. So if you see a QR code, kindly scan it and answer the questions so that we can engage. So Nelson, let's start. Okay, so thank you for that informative session. And to start us off, why is traceability so critical in the healthcare sector compared to other industries?
Well, looking at the healthcare sector as one of the key sectors that is highly having counterfeit happening, as a GS1, we are currently supporting entities to help curb that through our standardization, especially with the advance of serialization. As you are fully aware, we are currently globally pushing the entire healthcare sector to embrace serialization, to have the serial numbers on the produce that comes in. And looking at it in this perspective, as GS1 Kenya, we've effectively supported our members who are majorly manufacturers to have their products ready. But we saw that there was a gap. The point of care centers, in this case, which are the healthcare hospitals, we have the clinic areas and so on, they were not really embracing the traceability. You find that the products they are receiving have the barcode already embedded, all the details. The manufacturers have done a great job. And actually, I want to thank them. They have effectively invested and also embraced the GS1 standards on the produce.
Yeah.
But we noticed that our communication on how can we support the healthcare people, the people at the point of care centers, when you go to the hospital, am I able to understand whatever that was given to me, the medicine I received? In case there's any recall, how do we have that happen? And medicine is something that each one of us, I believe, has taken. So traceability is really key in that sector.
Okay.
Looking at that perspective.
Thank you so much for that. Before we go on, the Mentimeter is on. You have a QR code that has been displayed on your screen. Take your smartphone and scan the QR code. And the question there is, in your opinion, what is the biggest benefit of using GS1 standards at the point of care? So we have some questions, we have some answers over there. So just interact with us and engage with us. Kindly just scan the QR code and engage with us. While you do that, I also have something to give you. So you can dial on your phone *141 *4223 6205 63222791. I will not be repeating that number again, but if you got it, kindly just type it on our comments and tell us that you got what we have given you, and maybe you can tell the others what it is in for them if they continue to engage and be keen as we continue with our presentation. And once again, we are live on Traceability TV, so if you're watching from there, thank you for tuning in. And if you want to see more of Nelson, he is actually one of our favorite presenters when it comes to Traceability TV and speaking about traceability, not only at the point of care, but in many other sectors. So if you enjoy what we're doing here, we have so much more for you on Traceability TV. And once again, the chat is open. So if you have any questions for Nelson, actually, if you can ask one question to Nelson right now, our team is ready to note you down and we will give you a gift hamper. So if you have one question for Nelson, kindly type it down. The first person who is asking Nelson a question, and not an easy one, he's a very brilliant man. He can answer all and every question that you may have. So if you have a question, type it down and we are ready, and he's ready to answer, and I will be ready to give you something very, very special. As you heard, we have several sponsors, from Payaz Bakers to Sunvit and to Aqua Breeze, Feel the Breeze. So I'm sure we're so happy to give them all to you. So type a question out right now and our team will note you down. And by noting you down, I mean that you also rename your name on Zoom so that you can have your full name and your company so that we can be able to reach out to you in the fastest way possible. And also, so that you can have a better experience with us, I'd prefer you switch to speaker view so that you can have a better experience as we continue with the Traceability Week. So I'm not seeing anyone typing. Don't you guys want gifts? Please ask Nelson any question and I will have a gift. Imagine getting a gift because you're asking a question. So please interact with us and engage. Ask as many questions as you have. And the first person who asks Nelson a question, I'll have a gift for you. So thank you. Now, Nelson, moving on, you mentioned patient safety several times in your video. Can you give us a real life example where, traceability has made a difference in preventing harm, fraud, or saving a life?
Well, we all know about the period of COVID. When COVID-19 happened, you looked at, we had the vaccines coming into the country across the entire world. And how were we able to have those vaccines traced? All the manufacturers of these vaccines had embraced GS1 standards. We found that as today, we are able to understand which vaccine each individual took because the vaccines had all our encodings embedded on them effectively. A keen example that has been in the Kenyan media space was there's a time there was an operation that took place. A person who was actually not meant to have the operation on their mind, on their brain, got the operation. So that was a case of lack of traceability. You find that a patient was scheduled to have an operation, but actually there was a mismatch and they operated on a wrong person. So such an incident happening, such minor, I say minimal errors are some of the things that we feel at the point of care. We need to have all the standardization. Let's embrace the GSRA, the Global Service Station Number, whereby we're able to identify all the patients that enter into our facilities, have their details captured. But at the same time, our systems and your systems be linked, that you are able to verify, is this the person we are meant to have an operation on? If another staff worked on them the night before, you're able to scan the wristband on their hands and verify. So we feel that in our country and our hospitals, we need to embrace this kind of technology, whereby you look at the hospitals today, you go in, they just give you medicine. There's no noting down who are you, like where are you from, that in case the manufacturer is advised to do a recall, maybe there was a problem with a certain batch, are we able to know which person up the last mile received this drug? So those are key examples. For example, you find that Africa, our kind of supply chain is really tricky. It's not like in Europe that for you to go and get medication, you need a prescription. Today, I can just walk down to a pharmacy and I just say, I need paracetamol or any brand, and they just give it to you. But if I task that pharmacist, are you able to know which person you gave the drug to? So we are missing that traceability. The traceability we currently have normally stops around that level. But as GS1, we are actively calling upon all stakeholders in the healthcare sector that we can embrace the traceability. Let's not leave the barcodes and the encoding only for the manufacturers, because the manufacturers are doing a great job. They are having all these things come on the market already compliant. But we as GS1 and all the other stakeholders that are involved, we are trying to push and communicate with more and more people that, we need to have that full visibility that at a given time T, you are able to know Nelson came to my facility, this is what we got for him. And even I as Nelson, if I go to another facility and the doctor asks me, what's your patient history? I'm able to say, I got this medication, and they're actually able to verify which batch of paracetamol I received. So that's the kind of picture we believe is the best use case that each one of us expects. As a patient, I prefer to have such a visibility that I know everything around me and what I take in.
Thank you. Sure. So we have a winner for the hamper. He has asked a question from Makrand. would the aggregation be mandatory in Kenya? So before you answer the question, thank you for engaging with us so much. She's from a pharmaceutical company, and Nelson is ready to answer that question. And so our team has noted down your name, and we are thankful that you have asked us a question. So we will have a hamper for you. And now I have a question to our viewers and our members. What is GS1 in full? What is GS1 in full? If you can answer that question, I have a gift hamper for you too. What is GS1 in full? You've been hearing us say GS1 Kenya, GS1 Kenya. So do you know what is GS1 in full? If you can get the correct answer and you know the correct answer, kindly type it down on the screen, on your comment section, sorry, and we will give you a gift. Our team will note you down and give you a gift. So before Nelson answers his question that he has been asked, which is, would the aggregation be mandatory in Kenya?
So currently, the regulator, that is the PPB, Pharmacy and Poisons Board, are currently working on a documentation that will guide on how pharmaceutical traceability will be achieved in our country. So the document is currently in a draft phase. We've not yet received the deadlines and so on, as we're still engaging various stakeholders. So, and aggregation is part of it, looking at, because aggregation in a sense looks at how do we get all this medicine and everything. You know, when you look at the consignment, we have the primary, we have the secondary, and then we have the tertiary. So how do we track a consignment across all the packaging level is key, because when you look at it, the pharmacist normally dispense out the primary pack, but me as a distributor or a person who is importing, I may be importing in large quantities, normally in pallets, and pallets normally are on tertiary level. So aggregation involves around that. But in the draft documentation, I believe there is a section where they're talking about that, and we shall be. I received the contact from Mr. Al.
Makad.
Yeah, I'm going to communicate with him and share with him the draft documentation. And if they have any feedback they need and also guidance, as GS1 through healthcare, we are ready to engage with your teams and support you. Communications are currently ongoing. We currently have no final details on how it's happening, but we believe that GS1 standards are going to be central to this.
Okay.
And I want to assure our members who are manufacturers that you are on the right track. If you need to have any standardization happening, you need somewhere, we need to guide you. Our team is ready to come and sit down with your team. We guide you through. If you have any machinery that is really giving you challenges to operate or embed our GS1 standards, we have a fully fledged technical team that is equipped, involving me. We come on ground, we discuss with your team, help you understand how do we have the data matrix designed. A number of stakeholders are wondering, this data matrix as the new code that is coming on board, how do we embed it on our products? You know, because the data matrix is unique from the current coding that is happening, which is the linear barcode, as discussed yesterday in the session. The linear barcode is the normal barcode you see. Most of the times it is designed by when the packaging is being designed. So the products come with the linear barcode already. But remember, key information like the batch numbers, the expiry date, the packaging date, the serial numbers have been manually, not the current period in the current mechanisms in most of the manufacturing areas, they're using the manual way. They have another machine that does the encoding of the batches, but they do not capture that information in a data matrix as yet. So as GS1, we can guide you. We have various stakeholders that are ready to support you on. And I believe we shall be able to achieve the common goal of having full traceability from the manufacturer to the last patient.
Thank you so much. So, Nelson, I asked a question, right?
Sure.
And I'm seeing there's so much engagement on the chat. Thank you so much to everyone who's engaging to us. We are truly grateful. So, I have very many answers, and most of them are correct. Kindly tell us what is GS1 in full.
So GS1 stands for One Global Standard.
Okay, one global standard. So if you said global standards one or global system of standard, thank you for trying. But the answer is
One
global standard. One global standard. So the one comes before the global standard. Thank you so much for trying. And generic brands was the first one to try.
Wow.
Yes, thank you so much. So I will give you a gift. I'll still give you a gift, something small. But the answer is one global standard. So when you go out there, tell them it's one global standard. Now, again, you have seen the chat is open. So if you have any question, please type it out and Nelson is ready to answer. And then Up next, Nelson, how do GS1 standards specifically support traceability in hospitals and healthcare supply chains?
Okay. So as GS1, through the standardization, we look at various use cases. The hospital use case is a unique one, looking at there are so many traceable events that happen at the hospital. We look at the hospital from let's say, a microscopic lens. You see, there are so many things ongoing in a hospital. And from my presentation, I was able to discuss this. We have the assets that are being used. Those are the equipments you use in the hospital, the computers, the machinery, those expensive biometric, they're called what? Biochem machines that the nice people in the laboratories use. You see, all those components are being used and they're communicating.
Yeah.
Then we have the stakeholders. The stakeholders is involved the clinicians. We have the clinical officers. We have the pharmacists, the nurses, the good people at the reception who support us when we come in. All these people do a number of things that happen. So when you look at traceability, as a patient, when I come in, traceability actually now starts because I'm going to interact with a number of people.
Yeah.
At the reception, they're going to ask me details about me, my biodata, and so on. So we need to capture that information, but also be able to link that information to me in a way that is traceable. You know?
Yeah.
Then maybe I go to the triage. The triage captures my vitals and everything. They are now building my file and use case, and then I go to the doctors, they do the analysis, the lab, and so on. Then the pharmacy dispenses. So you see, there's a number of activities that are happening. So we need to capture that information because it is key. Because in case there's anything that has gone wrong and maybe I've gotten reactions on the medicine, we need to go back and understand what was the prescription. When Nelson moved into our facility, what was the problem he had? Did he get a misdiagnosed? Like, was he assigned the wrong results? We've had some cases, someone says, I go in, maybe I want to test my HIV status. And then maybe something clinical like happens. I'm fine, but maybe something happened when they were doing the reagents. So if I need to go back and review, how do I have all that managed? But at the same time, today I'm in your facility. The next day I'm in another facility. And most of the times the question the doctors ask us, like, what was your medical history? Have you suffered from this before? What did you take? Maybe I went to a small pharmacy, got some drugs. Then they asked me, okay, did you take something like this and so on? So all that communication and so on needs to be traced. So we involve standards by, first of all, identifying all the stakeholders, that is the clinicians and so on, the people that now interact with the systems. The medicine that comes into our facility has to be compliant with GS1 standards. So when you're sourcing your produce from certain manufacturers, you have to ask them the question that, I'm getting produce from you. Am I able to verify in real time that the batch number you're giving me is actually compliant, the serial number is there, the GTN is compliant? Am I able to know who the manufacturer is and how do I get it? Because in case there is a recall, we need that information.
Yeah.
And if you do not have it documented in a structured way that can be shareable with other entities, we lose the visibility. Even, are you able to also know which patients receive this medicine? So traceability is really broad. As GS1, we have an healthcare center of excellence that is located in Kisaju. We are collaborating with an healthcare institution in that estate, where we are currently piloting, but also calling out to all stakeholders that need to learn and see how do we achieve traceability in a healthcare setting. We have a fully fledged hospital there that is actually working, and there are some great people there doing great things. If you have time, you can pass by there. You'll see and understand. We can also schedule some engagements with you. You come and see. And I said, okay, GS1 talks about data matrix. What is this? How do the hospital people confirm and verify the medicine they receive?
Yeah.
I supply them. And as a patient, when I come in, the wristband is there. They scan and know. You have this patient card that we give you that you can also verify and know your patient history. So we are currently doing a lot through healthcare because it's a very critical sector to also ensure that the last mile people understand and know how to achieve traceability using our standards.
Okay, thank you so much. So we our session with Nelson is almost over, but I have so many gifts that I want to dish out to everyone. So I have one more question that I'll be asking you. But before I ask my question, kindly interact with our Mentimeter that has been displayed on your screen. The current question that is there is, would you be interested in capacity building programs or technical support for implementing GS1 standards? The answer is yes, no, or maybe. So kindly just scan the QR code that has been displayed on your screen and interact with us. And the chat is open, so if you have any questions for Nelson, kindly just ask him and he'll be ready to answer. And for those watching on Traceability TV, thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly subscribe to our channel. We have so many insights and so many beautiful documentaries and news updates that we would like to share with you and the world. So just head on to Traceability TV on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Now, I want to give out a gift. And I want to really give it out, and I want to give out to everyone who will answer my question. And this one is a very easy question. Nelson has been talking about GS1 standards when it comes to the patient care and in hospitals and in pharmaceuticals. So if you can give me the full name of this abbreviation, GTIN. What is a GTIN? Like GTIN. What does GTIN mean in full? I will give you a gift hamper, and it will be a very big gift hamper. And we keep our promises here at GS1 Kenya, one global standard. So can you, if you know what GTIN means and you have the answer, type it down on this on the comment section, and I'll be able to see, and I will send my gift to you as fast as I can. So Nelson, lastly but not least, is for healthcare stakeholders who are watching right now, can you tell us what's the first step they should take to begin improving their traceability in their operations?
The first step is to embrace GS1 standards.
Yes.
Embrace GS1 standards in all your operations. Train your teams. We as GS1, we have a fully fledged department for trainings. Surprisingly, I'm also in charge of that department, but I have some great minds behind there that are ready to come and train you at your facilities or even in your warehouses and factories. So number one, embrace our technology as GS1. Two, we are available to train you. And then use our standards. Use in everything you do. We do so much more. Healthcare is just one of the aspects, as my colleagues are coming up to share more on the other sectors. I think those are the three steps. Embrace our technology, train your teams, and then use them throughout everything you do.
Okay, so I do have some answers here that are coming and they're all correct. So a GTIN is a global trade item number. And first we have generic brands once again who have won the hamper. The first answer was wrong, but this one you got it very right. So thank you for everyone who is tuning in and they're writing their answers. Thank you so much. I can see all of it, and thank you for engaging with us. But the one who really won is global trade. The global trade item number is Generic Brands Limited. So thank you for that. Do you have a parting shot before we close?
Well, my parting shot will be our members who are the manufacturers currently using our standards. We are actively pushing for to adopt our standardization across the entire country's supply chain. You need to be ready for this. As contact us, let's come and look at your teams, have your data compliant, because we base on data to be able to achieve all the feasibility and the traceability we do. As AI is evolving, AI relies on data. As manufacturers of pharmaceutical produce, data is very key, because you wouldn't want to have a scenario whereby we are trying to verify your products and information through our systems and they're returning wrong results. So data quality is on our main emphasis. Let's have your data updated. We have an online portal where you manage all your products and encodings. So share with us, contact us. Our contacts are very much available. They'll be in the chat in the chat, and we are always available to support you. Don't feel left behind. You are our members. Sure.
Thank you so much, Nelson, for that insightful presentation and your interview and answering all our questions. Thank you so much. So that's a wrap for us here in the healthcare sector. We have saved so many lives with your presentation, and I hope you guys have gotten something and you're ready to engage with Nelson even more so that you can learn about traceability in the healthcare sector. Up next, we have Regan Kitao, and he'll be presenting on retail and I hope you guys are all ready because I still have more gifts. I still have more credit to give out. So please stay tuned and we'll be back after this short break.
Sunbeat Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat, feel good every bite. Sunbeat Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat, feel good every bite. Sunbeat Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat, feel good every bite. Sunbeat Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat, feel good every bite.
This This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of aqua breeze. It's so pure. This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of aqua breeze. It's so pure. This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of aqua breeze. It's so pure.
Thank you so much and welcome back. Welcome back to GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025. I'm your host, Miriam Munyoki. And for those who are just tuning in, we are on day 2 of GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025, which is under the theme A New Renaissance, Connecting Consumers to Traceability and Sustainability. We just completed our first session of day 2, which was with Nelson John, and he was presenting on the healthcare sector. We then sat down with him and asked him a few questions, and we also engaged with our members who are currently watching. So if you are one of the people who won a gift hamper, please type out your full name and your company so that we can be able to reach out to you and get you your beautiful gifts as soon as possible. And speaking of gifts, I'd like to thank our sponsors for the day, which is Aqua Breeze, Feel the Breeze, Buyers Bakers, and Sunvit for sponsoring this event. And so we move to our next session of the day. And just to remind you, you've heard that people are winning gifts. So the faster that you type, the faster you get your gift. So engage with us, and I am ready to give out so much more. Now, moving into the supermarkets, we are going to the retail sector, and our presenter of the day is Regan Gitau. He is a retail executive at GS1 Kenya and a key driver of innovation in the retail space. Today, Regan will be taking us through a timely and transformational topic, retail readiness for 2D migration, a deep dive into how businesses can prepare for the shift to 2D barcodes while unlocking richer product data, improving inventory accuracy, and strengthening traceability from shelf to system. With retail environments becoming more digital, more dynamic, and more data-driven, this session is all about helping you future-proof your business and meet the demands of today's connected consumer. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Regan Gitau. GS1 operates under the GS1 competition law caution. Strict compliance with competition laws is and always has been the policy of GS1. The best way to avoid problems is to remember that the purpose of the group is to enhance the ability of all industry members to compete more efficiently. This means there shall be no discussion of prices, allocation of customers or products, boycotts, refusals to deal, or market share. If any participant believes the group is drifting towards impermissible discussion, the topic shall be tabled until the opinion of counsel can be obtained. The full caution is available via the link below if you'd like to read it in its.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Marianne, and welcome to my presentation on retail readiness for 2D migration. As we talk about this retail shift, it's important to recognize that we are not operating in isolation, but there are 4 key players driving this transformation. We have the regulators, the suppliers, retailers, and the consumers, all connected by a common pillar, traceability. Let's now dive into the needs and wants of each of the key players. We move on to the first key players, the regulators. These are the standardization bodies. Their priorities are quite clear. First off, we have ensure public health and safety, especially in the food sector. There is need for the permits to be visible. Second, we have detect and eliminate counterfeit products. Such counterfeit products are not just a threat to consumers, but also they determine the retail credibility. Next, we move to enforce product traceability and compliance. This means knowing where products come from, the origin, how they've been handled, and having the data readily available. Next, we have the suppliers. These are the key partners in ensuring product availability, quality, and data accuracy. First, we have meet compliance and retailer requirements, especially as the retailers demand more accurate product data. That's very vital. Then they need to gain better supply chain visibility. That is knowing where their products are, in what condition, and when they'll reach the market. Then they need to protect the brand reputation. It takes years to build a reputation. So that is done by preventing counterfeits and ensuring optimum quality of their products. Now let's talk about you, the retailer. Your day-to-day operations and customer experience hinge on a few critical needs. 1, you need to maintain accurate and efficient inventory, knowing exactly what's on the shelf, what's moving, and what's not. This directly affects your profitability and customer satisfaction. We have deliver fast, reliable checkouts and promotions. It's not just about speed, it's about the right data and at the right time. Efficiency is key here. Next, we have ensure product quality and compliance. You need confidence that what you're selling is safe, traceable, and meets both regulatory and brand expectations. And finally, let's look at the most influential stakeholder in this retail shift. That is the consumer. They need access to product information instantly. From origin of the product, the ingredients to usage instructions and sustainability practices. They need to ensure product safety and authenticity, especially in sectors like food, health, and personal care. That's very vital. They also need to make informed and personalized purchase decisions, like comparing products and choosing a local or ethnic brand. So far, we've looked at what's changing and what different stakeholders, including you, the retailers, need. But the big question now is, how do we meet all these needs? That brings us to a solution and where the real transformation starts. Let's now talk about the technology and standards that are enabling this shift. This is where GS1 2D barcodes chip in. What you're seeing on the screen is a live example. This product we refer to it as GS1 Kenya Strawberry Jam, and it uses a QR code right on the label. If you scan the QR code that you see on the screen with a smartphone camera, you'll be directed to a product web page. Kindly go ahead and try it now, and you'll see how it provides access to instant product information. Let's now take a look at the structure of GS1 2D barcode, the QR code that you just scanned with your smartphones. When you take a close look at it, you can see there's a text at the top, written GS1. And below, you can see there are human readable numbers. That's the GTIN, the human readable text. You're probably wondering, why do we need to display it there? And in other QR codes, you don't get such. Well, that's for the purpose of in case the QR code has been tampered with, probably torn, poor print quality, the cashier at the checkout can be able to refer to that text, that 6166 proceeding, and ensure that they be able to successfully check out the product. Because on normal products with a linear barcode, that's what you normally get, 6166. Then moving on to the top, we can see the GS1 trademark. That is to verify that this QR code is not just any other QR code, but it's a legitimate GS1 QR code. It has a small R icon for registered trademark. Now, once scanned, GS1 QR codes carry a digital link that directs you to essential content. The digital link, upon scanning the QR code, I believe there's a link that has just popped up, something like that. Now let me teach you about this link. First off, we have the base URL. A URL, as you all know, is a website link, https gs1kenya.org. That's the base URL. And this website address is where we GS1 Kenya host all the information regarding the product. Next, we have the product key. This connects each scan to a specific product in the database. So when you scan, it knows exactly what item you're looking at. That's a machine communication now. We proceed to the GTIN. The GTIN, as you all know, is a barcode number, the linear barcode number. And this is the product's unique identifier. That's what separates, let's say, the jam, 250 grams or 500 grams, the unique identifier. That's the GTIN. We move on to the serial key. The serial key lists the product to a batch, a production line, or even a timestamp, helping with traceability, inventory tracking, and quality assurance. Then finally, we have the serial number. It's not so common in all things, but trust me, for traceability purposes, it's a very vital ingredient. A serial number is useful in cases like recalls, product recalls, that is, promotions. For example, you can trace or reward one specific jar of jam. Or in case there's a recall, there's a manufacturing defect, that's the way you can be able to trace the product uniquely if it affected one single product. So that's it with the structure of the GS1 2D barcode and the digital link that you have just come across. The GS1 QR code stands out in one sector. It offers one scan leading to infinite possibilities. Just one QR code leading to infinite possibilities. Let me tell you why. The additional information that can be accessed upon scanning the GS1 QR code. For instance, on this product, we can be able to verify the brand authenticity. In today's market, products are being seriously counterfeited. They're being cloned to look exactly like the original brand. But that's not something to worry about with GS1 standards. You can be able to verify if the product is genuine. Self-checkout is also enabled. There are supermarkets whereby the checkout process is already automated. Well, it's a global evolution that's catching up so fast. So the same scan on the QR code can be used at self-service checkout points. Then you have the product content, the ingredients contained in that product, the allergens. In case you're allergic to milk, you're probably a vegetarian, name it. You can be able to verify the allergen information for your own safety. Then you have the nutritional information. You don't have to keep guessing, Googling, all that information can be embedded in that QR code. Then you move on to rewards and offers. If you want to run a promotion for your product, probably the product is lagging so much in sales, you want to promote it, you can tie it directly to a scan, personalized and paperless. Just embed the information there. It's a digital access to all that information. Then we move to product registration. That helps with warranties and tracking usage, especially it's useful for electronics. When you go to purchase an electronic in a supermarket or maybe in any store, you normally see them giving you a warranty card. Now that's been automated. We move on to loyalty. Well, you may decide that the brand has become the brand movement in the market has become so positive. The response in the market is so good, and you want to reward your returning customers. That can be done directly through the scan because you can embed all that information there. No cards or codes are needed in this case. Then we move to recommendations. This offers similar products, recipe ideas, or complementary items right from their phone. Well, if a consumer rather, likes the product, why don't they leave a comment and a rating? We move to reorder. If the consumer loves the product, they can be able to scan and buy it again online. You can just, even in case you have maybe like door-to-door deliveries, online shopping, all that can be embedded in that QR code. So despite having the app, so much has been automated by the QR code to automate all this. As I mentioned earlier, GS1 QR codes offer one scan, leading to infinite possibilities. Let me tell you why. On the screen, you can see multiple products, each overloaded with QR codes. That, of course, clutters the packaging. One QR code may probably be leading to marketing, another one for brand loyalty, another one for brand authenticity verification. But this is a bit inconveniencing because even when the consumer is scanning, they don't know which is which. And also for you as a retailer, it's a bit of an inconvenience to scan at each and every time to have to verify which is which. That's why GS1 QR code chips in to get rid of this inconsistency. Now, you might be wondering, is this really happening anywhere yet? The implementation of 2D. I'll give you a case study from GS1 New Zealand, where retailers are already using GS1 2D barcodes at checkpoint with great results.
When first introduced 50 years ago, the barcode was revolutionary, changing the way we shop. A barcode was scanned, it talked to a database, and an item was automatically added to the bill. Consumers, suppliers, and retailers all benefited. Now we are seeing the next generation of barcodes rolling out across the globe, which will transform the way manufacturers and brand owners do business. These small but powerful two-dimensional barcodes can carry substantially more information than a traditional linear barcode and will open a world of possibilities for Kiwi businesses.
2D is a next-generation barcode from GS1 that will provide other information that's embedded in the barcode that's useful for the retailer and consumers and also suppliers of products.
The team at GS1 is helping New Zealand businesses prepare for the sunrise of 2D barcodes by the end of 2027, sharing the traceability, sustainability, and consumer engagement benefits this new technology brings.
So the endorsement globally is very strong for this through the Consumer Goods Forum. In fact, 26 leading brands and retailers.
There are now 2D pilots in economies that represent 88% of the world's GDP.
We would love to support suppliers and manufacturers on their journey towards 2D because there are real benefits around productivity, efficiency, and consumer engagement.
One business already implementing 2D barcodes locally is Woolworths New Zealand.
We're very serious about fresh, so we are absolutely targeting our fresh product range for the 2D barcode rollout first. The benefit for customers around food safety for 2D barcodes are that we can now manage our shelf life and our expiry or best before dates a lot better. We now have full visibility through our systems of what the remaining shelf life of those products are. Therefore, we can take appropriate automated action to ensure that those products are addressed sooner. If something slips through that we might have missed through any of our manual processes, and you do happen to pick it up and try and buy it through our checkout, our systems will block it for purchase, and therefore you save from consuming anything that might have spoiled.
Along with improved sustainability and food safety, 2D is also delivering some exciting innovations for brands and consumers.
I think there's an opportunity for productivity and efficiency benefits, but also it'll open up, particularly through the QR code variant, consumer engagement. 2D barcodes are really exciting because the technology enables other information to be put into the barcode. It could be a best before information, it could be a serial number, it could be a lot or expiration date, but also it could be a website reference to deliver the consumer engagement directly onto your website, where you can tell a story about what your product is and how to cook with it, how to use it. All of those things are possible once you drive off the barcode to the web. We see 2D as a great way for brand owners and manufacturers to really tell a story and show innovation and connect to their consumers in a way that they haven't done to date.
I believe that was quite an informative video on the success story on application of GS1 2D barcodes. Now let's dive into what sets GS1 2D barcodes apart. Because, well, there are many QR codes, but what makes us stand out? Well, many of the QR codes you see out there are just links to websites. They are unstructured, unstandardized, and often not suitable for retail systems. Speaking of data capacity, GS1 QR codes encode structured data elements using GS1 global standards, unlike basic QR codes that often store unstructured links. What that means is that the data is machine readable and usable across the supply chain. not just for smartphones, also for inventory management. Let's dive into retail compatibility. Well, at the point of sale scanning, traceability, compliance, enriched data, digital content, they carry the price, the product ID, and more, enabling fast checkout, accurate stock management, and easy integration into traceability systems. Then you have dynamic in nature. As I told you before, GS1 QR codes are dynamic. What we mean is that product information can be updated dynamically. By dynamic, it keeps changing. You can add, delete, add again, a diverse range of information, eliminating the need to alter physical packaging where details change. You can update the digital content behind the code without changing the packaging, which is expensive, of course. So if the ingredients, certifications, or offers change, just update the link. No need to reprint the labels or reshape the product. Now, we have seen the need for the 2D barcodes. We have seen the global shift and how GS1 2D barcodes offer value, not just for compliance, but for smarter, faster, and more connected retail. So the big question is, are you ready? Let's now talk about the first step in preparing for 2D adoption, your point of sale systems. A lot of retailers are still using scanners that can only read the 1D barcodes. That's the traditional black and white lines, the linear barcode. But GS1 2D codes, like the one you see here, require 2D capable scanners, and many modern ones can scan both the linear and the 2D QR code. So once you've previewed your systems, the next step is simple: to upgrade to 2D ready scanning hardware. The scanners that you can see on the screen, they have both a red laser beam and a camera. The red laser beam is for scanning, accessing the data on the linear barcode, but the camera is for scanning the QR code and reading the data inside it. So it's a camera-based scanner that can be able to read both the linear barcodes and 2D barcodes like the QR codes. Let's now look at the key features of 2D scanners. These scanners unlock all the benefits we've discussed today, from faster checkout to traceability and digital content access with just a simple scan. One, it reads both 1D and 2D barcodes. Now, since it's compatible with both, that means that you can transition at your own pace without any disruption. Second, we have omnidirectional scanning. There's no need to align the code as it scans from any angle, improving speed and ease of access. The 2D scanners can read from any angle, making the checkout faster. You don't have to place the barcode to a specific position. Then we have high speed and accurate decoding. Quickly reads codes, even those that are damaged, distorted, or poorly printed. Even if the barcode is wrinkled, carved, or printed in a small place, 2D scanners are built to decode quickly and accurately. Remember, a 2D barcode, that's the QR code, shouldn't be as big as a linear barcode. That means that fewer errors, shorter queues, and smoother retail operations. In short, these features are designed to make your checkout process much more efficient. Now, get your teams ready with expert training. At GS1 Kenya, we offer both virtual and physical training sessions on technical implementation and GS1 standards. Technology is powerful, but it only works if the people using it are confident enough and well-trained. That's why it's just as important to prepare your teams as it is to upgrade your hardware. We give you training on how to use 2D scanners, what to expect when scanning GS1 2D codes, and how to handle the data that comes with it, whether the checkout, in inventory, or customer service. Look no further. It's also a call for you to engage your suppliers. As you begin your journey with 2D barcodes, remember you're not doing this alone. Involve your suppliers in the transition to 2D from the start. This helps ensure data accuracy, consistent labeling, and smooth integration across systems. By involving them, we start to ensure that there is accurate and reliable product data, consistent barcode labeling on products, and a smooth integration between their systems and yours. This will reduce confusion greatly, speed up adoption, and ensure products arrive shelf-ready, fully traceable, and scannable. So as we roll out our calendars to 2027, it's the global call to embrace 2D. So this is to ensure that the point of sale systems are capable of reading 2D alongside the existing 1D barcodes. So get ready for the Global Sunrise 2027. Act now, stay ahead. So just to offer a recap on the benefits of GS1 2D codes in retail, the regulators, the policymakers, they get access to better traceability, faster response in recalls, and stronger protection against counterfeits, all of which support public safety and meets their end goal. The supplier, they meet compliance requirements, gain better visibility of their products across the supply chain, and protect their brand reputation with accurate product data. The consumer, who is the flagship key stakeholder in this, they get to access to instant product information, brand transparency, personalized experiences, and peace of mind that what they're buying is authentic and safe. The retailer, that is you, to benefit from improved inventory accuracy, faster checkouts, easier promotions, and tools to deliver better customer experiences. So whether it's operations, compliance, or customer engagement, GS1 2D barcodes connect it all. The shift is happening globally, and together we are making sure retail in Kenya is more than ready. Thank you for your time and attention. The move to GS1 2D barcodes is already underway globally, and it's full of benefits for retailers like you, from faster checkouts and better promotions to safer, smarter supply chains. At GS1 Kenya, we're here to guide you step by step towards this transition. Whether it's upgrading your scanners, we'll guide you. Training your team, or engaging your suppliers. Let's work together to make retailing in Kenya future ready.
Thank you so much, Regan, for that powerful presentation.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm here with Regan and we will keep the conversation going. So if you have any questions for him, please, the chat is open and you can type out any question that you have for him and he is ready to answer. Once again, if you are tuning in from Traceability TV on YouTube, hello and thank you for tuning in. We love you over there. And if you want to see Regan's presentation once again, it will be posted on Traceability TV, which is on YouTube. It will be posted there. So if you need a refresher course on everything that he just presented, please head on down to Traceability TV on YouTube and subscribe, like, share our content. We have so much to offer. Also, as we go on, we will be sharing a Mentimeter, which will help us to engage with you and just to know how you see things from your perspective. Currently, it's being displayed on your screen, and it's a kindly scan the QR code that is on your screen. It will be displayed on your screen. So kindly scan that QR code so that we can be able to engage. I can see that it's currently being shared. Yes, it's being shared, and scan the QR code and you'll be able to engage with us. The question that is there is, what's one big reason retailers should care about GS1 2D barcodes? So kindly scan the QR code with your smartphone and engage with us. So I'll give you 1 second to scan the QR code. And while you scan that QR code, I have a surprise for my Airtel people. Dial *130 *42147 4835144450. So if you got that, congratulations, you are the winner. And kindly just tell us that you got something small. So you can just type, as I said, the chat is open, so type there and tell us, oh, I won. So that's for my Airtel people. If no one got it, I am willing to replay the numbers again. Okay, so first of all, hi Regan.
Hello, Miriam.
Okay, so how does GS1 2D barcodes enhance inventory management?
Thank you for that question. Speaking of inventory management, the normal linear barcode that we know of, it normally incorporates a GTIN. A GTIN, as we know so far, is the unique product identifier. Now, the GTIN holds a limited data capacity. That's the product description and the price for the sake of now the supermarkets. But the GS1 QR code, that's the 2D barcode, it incorporates the GTIN. Not only that, but for the sake of fast in, fast out, it holds the manufacturing date and expiry date of the product. Not only that, we also have the serial number, which uniquely identifies every single item, most commonly used in the electronics. And we also have the batch number for the sake of product records. Yeah, so that's one of the ways. So in case there's a manufacturing defect on the products, the batch number will be used to identify and pull out every product on the shelf that is part of the affected batch.
Okay, thank you so much. So if you got the Airtel credit, please let me know so that I can discard this one. But if no one did, please also I will be replaying the number once again. So the Mentimeter is currently being shared. Just scan the QR code that is on your screen and engage with us. The question is, what's one big reason retailers should care about GS1 2D barcodes? So kindly scan the QR code that is being displayed currently on your screen and you'll be able to engage with us on the polls. So up next, I'm going to be saying another number, my Safaricom people. Dial *141#. Are you ready for the numbers? 4554-1588-4037-3893. So if you got that, that's for Safaricom. Please let me know so that I can discard of this one and say the next one. Now, if you have a question for Regan, kindly ask. And if you say the question fast enough, if you're the first person to ask Regan a question, whether you are on Traceability TV or you're here on Zoom, if you ask Regan Gita a question regarding his presentation, I will have a gift for you. I will have a gift hamper ready to be delivered to you as soon as possible. So if you have a question for Regan, kindly type it out, and the first person who asks him a question, I'll have a gift for you, whether you are on Traceability TV or you're here watching live on us, which is on Zoom. Now, I also have a question for you, our members, and if you're able to answer this question, I also have another gift hamper for you. As I said, I have so many gift hampers, and they're all coming from our sponsors, and we are truly grateful. Our sponsors for Traceability Week 2025 are Aquabreeze, Feel the Breeze, Fires Bakers, and Sunbit. So we are truly grateful for you guys sponsoring our event. And so I have gifts from us, from them to you, if you can answer this question. What is the name of the black and white square code that holds more information than a 1D barcode? So I know Regan mentioned something about that in his presentation. So I really hope you are keen and you had that. If you had it and you know the answer, type it out on the chat. The chat is open. And if you're the first person who asks Regan a question, you also get a gift. So I have two gifts to give out. I have given out credit, so you know we mean real business over here. Now, if you're on Traceability TV and you're watching with us, please also engage with us. We love to engage with you. So just ask any questions that you may have. We'll also be giving gifts to you. Just write your full name. Our team is ready and on standby to take up all your names, and we'll deliver the gifts to you. And at the same time, as I mentioned, Regan's presentation is also going to be live on Traceability TV. So please go and Traceability TV and subscribe to our channel. We'll truly be grateful. If you have any questions for Regan, he's ready to answer them. And the Mentimeter is still up on your screen. So please engage with us. Scan the QR code, and the question is, why should suppliers be involved in the 2D barcode shift early on? Now I can see on the chat. Oh, someone got it. Mbwana from RCC Limited. Which one did you get? Did you get the Safaricom airtime or the Airtel airtime? Please tell me. And I also have an answer. I will be reading out the answers and I'll be telling you who the winner is after Regan answers this question. Also remember that, yes, if you ask Regan a question, you also get a gift hamper. Now, Regan, kindly tell us, why should retailers encourage manufacturers of their in-house branded products to embed GS1 2D barcodes on their packaging?
Thank you once again. One of the reasons why the 2D barcode is essential in today's world, it holds essential information that the linear barcode with the limited data capacity cannot hold. Among that information that it can hold, we have the allergen information. This is very vital because food allergy is life-threatening. And with that information, at least somebody can be aware of what to avoid when making their purchases. We also have the nutrition information, that is the contents, the outcome of the product. Now, the nutritional information in this case will guide you on how much quantity to consume in a product and how often to consume the product. Other than that, you have the brand authenticity verification, which is also vital because products have been counterfeited so much. And we also have a recipe, the recipe for making meals. That comes in as an additional value addition procedure. You can imagine in a supermarket, let's use the case study of the local supermarkets here in Kenya. We normally have a milk ATM, right, in majority supermarkets. And not only that, we have the grocery products like the onions, capsicum, tomatoes, we have meat, we have all that. Now imagine providing a recipe that will, let's say probably like vegetable rice, how to make vegetable rice. That will be, you'll be marketing the rice on your shelves, you'll be marketing the vegetables, probably the milk, what have you. Now that will be able to, that will be a combination of a whole meal to promote all the products that you're selling. Not only the products that you produce internally, but also the products you receive from suppliers.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I can see that Mbwana from RCC Limited scored the Safaricom credit. So thank you for that. Congratulations. As you can see, they are real numbers. So engage with us. Be keen. Listen to Regan as he speaks. Listen to me as I cream these numbers, and you'll be able to get something. So my Airtel people, are you ready? I'm going to reread these numbers once again, and I hope someone gets this. Now I'm starting *130 *42147 48351 4450. If you get that, congratulations, and please let me know that you got the credit. Up next, I told you that if you ask Regan a question, you get a gift hamper. I am waiting to see someone ask Regan a question regarding his presentation. The chat is open, so please type out a question as fast as you can right now for Regan, and you will get gifts from our sponsors. They have sponsored us, and we are truly grateful. That is Fire's Bakers, Aqua Breeze, Feel the Breeze, and Sunvit. So if you ask Regan a question, you get a gift. And someone did answer the first question that I asked. I asked, what is the number, what is the name of the black and white square code that holds more information than a 1D barcode? And Winnie Odwali was the first one to answer, and the answer is a 2D barcode, or what we call here in GS1 Kenya the QR code. So she also got the answer, 2D barcode. Kindly, Winnie, rename your name on your Zoom and tell us your name and your company, which company you're joining us from, so that we can be able to reach out to you in good time. As I said, those who are on Traceability TV, the numbers that I'm reading, I know you can hear them. So if you get to hear them, and type out the credit. Congratulations to you. We are truly thankful that you will join us from Traceability TV. Stay on there and look at the content that we have. And for those who are engaging with the Mentimeter, thank you so much for engaging with us and scanning the QR code. Now, Regan, let's continue. So can you tell us how can the GS1 2D barcode add value to the consumer shopping experience?
Yes, speaking of adding value, it will bring credibility to the supermarket, because once the consumer is able to trace all the essential information regarding a product, definitely they have confidence in the fact that the supermarket is offering legitimate products and information to guide them on what to buy. They'll be making satisfactory purchases. Yes, that's the primary benefit.
Okay, thank you. Now, I'll have another question. Okay, thank you, Winnie, for giving us your full name and your company. We'll have a gift for you very soon. Now, I have another question before we finish. Our session with Regan is almost over. And I have a question for you. And if you can get the answer to this question, we'll have a gift hamper ready for you. We have so many gifts here and we want to give them out. So, true or false? Are GS1 barcodes only used in supermarkets? True or false? Are GS1 barcodes only used in supermarkets? Please answer the question. You answer if you say false, tell us why. If you say true, tell us why. The first person to answer that question will get a gift hamper. I will repeat the question one more time. True or false? Do GS1 barcodes, are they only used in supermarkets? If you can answer that question, because that question has been answered since day one to now, are GS1 barcodes only used in supermarkets? Is that true or is that false? If you tell us true, tell us why. If you tell us false, tell us why. Then you'll get a gift hamper. Now, I am reading the last credit of the day, which is the Safaricom. If anyone got the Airtel money, please let me know so that I can look. I'm getting answers already. Thank you. I will mention those answers after Regan is done. And for those who are answering, kindly write out why so that we can write the fault and then you write why. You write your answer. Okay. Thank you. Now I'll be reading out this airtime one last time. This one is another Safaricom airtime. Be keen. If you get it, you get credit, 100 bob credit higher. *41*, *41*. Are you ready for the numbers? 2130634392305092. If you got that, please let me know who got that and I'll be ready to give, and congratulations to you. Now, Regan, give us a parting shot before we close the session.
Thank you once again. So this is a call to action for you, the retailer. It's time to evaluate your current scanners, the barcode scanners. Normally, the linear barcode scanners that we're used to, they emit a red laser beam. That is only meant for the linear barcodes, but the one that can scan rather a 2D QR code normally has on top of a laser beam, it has a dedicated camera. It resembles the one that we have on the phone. That one is for reading the QR code. In the QR code, of course, you have access to all that, the batch numbers, the expiry date, manufacturing date, all that information. And the 2D scanner, the 2D barcode in this case, will scan as quickly as the 1D barcode normally scans. So that is a call to action, evaluate your scanners. And we also offer training services. So we are ready, either virtually or physically, we are ready to avail ourselves to train you and your team on how to adopt the 2D barcodes. So get ready, 2027 is not so far away. We are ready to move to this journey together. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you to Regan for sitting down with us and answering all our questions. No one asked Regan a question. I hope in our next session, you will ask more questions and get gifts, because the more questions you ask, the more gifts you get. Now, I had given a Safaricom airtime to someone, and I don't think you guys got it, but I will reread the number and I'll also reread the Airtel money number so that you can get your credit higher. I'm starting with Safaricom. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. *41*. 2130634392305092. If you got that, please type for us that you've gotten it. And now for Airtel, are you ready? *130*42147 483514450. I hope you got that, and I hope there's someone who's celebrating the credit that they just got. Okay, now for our answers, I can see so many people participated. Thank you so much to our members for participating. And the first person who answered the question and answered the question fully, not just writing false, is Winnie Odwali. Once again, thank you. False. The answer of the question was, are GS1 barcodes only used in supermarkets? True or false? And the answer she gave was wonderful. It's false. Can be used by all people, from the regulator to the supplier to the retailer and the consumer. That is true. But the answer I was also looking for was that yes, false. They are used across all sectors. We have so many sectors here at GS1 Kenya. We have transport and logistics. We have agribusiness, retail sector, we have the healthcare sector, and GS1 barcodes are used across all our sectors. That's the answer I was looking for, but Winnie, I will still give you your gift. So thank you so much for participating. And I'm seeing that Bildad Muchemi from Full Care Kenya Medical Limited got the Safaricom one. Congratulations to you, and thank you for being so keen. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned. We have another session, and I have more gifts and I have more credit to give out to everyone who is keen and everyone who is engaging with us. So thank you so much for that. And Eva, thank you for writing down your full name. So for the people who have won the gift hampers, your gifts are coming and they are ready. They are fully packed and packaged beautifully. They are coming, and I have more credit to give out. So in our next session, please stay tuned. We have on our next session, we have a construction sector by Geoffrey Allo, and please stay tuned for that. We'll be back after the short break.
Sunbeat. Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat. Feel good every bite. Sunbeat. Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat. Feel good every bite. Sunbeat. Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat. Feel.
This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of aqua breeze. It's so pure. This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of aqua breeze. It's so pure.
Welcome. We are now on our last session for the day, and we will be speaking on the construction sector with Geoffrey Alo. If you're just joining us, this is GS1 Kenya's Traceability 2025 under the theme A New Renaissance, Connecting Consumers Through Traceability and Sustainability. We are here and we've been having our sessions ongoing since yesterday, day one, with Ian Mageto and Rhoda on the agribusiness sector. And then we came on with Nelson John, who spoke to us about the healthcare sector. And then we finished recently with Regan Gitao, who was speaking on the retail sector. And up next, we have Geoffrey Alo, who'll be talking to us about the construction sector. So if you're just joining in or you're tuning in through Traceability TV, thank you for staying with us. I have a gift out, and I have so much credit to dish out to each and every member who is joining us live and listening to us keenly. So Geoffrey Alo, who will be speaking from bricks to beams, cement to cables, traceability is really shaping how we build one material at a time. Our next session takes us into a sector where precision, safety, and accountability are everything in construction. I'm excited to introduce Geoffrey Alo, the training executive at GS1 Kenya, who has been equipping industries with the knowledge and tools to apply GS1 standards across diverse sectors. Today, Geoffrey will be speaking on enhancing construction efficiency with traceability, with a focus on how tracking construction materials can lead to safer sites, streamlined operations, and stronger project outcomes. As the construction industry evolves, traceability is becoming a key part of building smarter, safer, and more sustainable infrastructure. Please help me in welcoming Geoffrey Alo. GS1 operates under the GS1 competition law caution. Strict compliance with competition laws is and always has been the policy of GS1. The best way to avoid problems is to remember that the purpose of the group is to enhance the ability of all industry members to compete more efficiently. This means there shall be no discussion of prices, allocation of customers or products, boycotts, refusals to deal, or market share. If any participant believes the group is drifting towards impermissible discussion, the topic shall be tabled until the opinion of counsel can be obtained. The full caution is available via the link below if you'd like to read it in its entirety. GS1 operates and
Thank you, Marianne, for that wonderful introduction. Before we dive into today's core topic, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture, where the construction industry or how the construction industry looks like both globally and locally, because it is such a critical focus for innovation and efficiency. Now, according to a report by the World Economic Forum and the United Nations Environmental Program, that is UNEP, the construction sector contributes approximately to 13% of the global GDP. That may not seem as a large number at first, but in monetary terms, it is a multi-trillion-dollar industry that impacts every country's economy. The other point is that when we talk about growth in the construction industry, it is far from slowing down. And therefore, the sector is projected to grow by approximately 3 to 5% on annual basis throughout 2030, especially in emerging economies where the demand for infrastructure is increasing. Third point, the construction industry is a major consumer of the global energy, which accounts for 32% of the global energy. That includes both construction processes and operation of buildings afterwards. But there's the other side of the truth and the growth, carbon emissions. The industry contributes about 37% of the global carbon emissions, making it one of the biggest contributors to climate change. That includes both embodied and operational carbon. This mix of economic importance, energy demand, and environmental impact positions the industry as both a challenge and an opportunity. Now we have seen the global trends, and one may ask, what about here at home? What about here in Kenya? What is the story for the Kenyan's construction sector? In 2025, the annual average growth rate is projected at 5.5%. These are reports according to the global newswire.com. The 5.5% annual average growth is a strong indicator of how essential it is to the national development. This growth is driven by three key factors. First, it's the massive investment in transport infrastructure like roads, like rail, and port expansion. For example, we've seen the expansion of the building of the Nairobi Expressway. We've seen the SGR coming up. The other factor that has led to the growth of the industry is a shift towards renewable energy, with more projects now integrating to energy renewable sources like solar, wind, and other sustainable sources. Third, and maybe perhaps the most transformative agent of the growth, is the Affordable Housing Program. This is one of the Kenya's flagship initiatives aiming to providing dignified housing to citizens. So, with this growth comes complexity. More projects, more materials, and more players, and more need for transparency, efficiency, and safety. Having seen the construction, or rather the Kenyan construction sector, that is not only growing, but it is evolving. However, with this growth comes increasing complexity, more materials, tighter timelines, and high expectation for quality and sustainability. To meet these demands, the industry is shifting from traditional practices to smarter tech-driven approaches. At the heart of this shift is digital transformation. And one of the most powerful tools leading the way is Building Information Modeling, or BIM. BIM creates a digital replica of a building that is far beyond a simple 3D drawing. The other thing is that the BIM allows architects, engineers, and project managers to collaborate in real time, thereby reducing errors and improving coordination. In the construction industry, another game changer is drones. These flying tools are becoming standard equipment for modern construction sites. So one of the things they have enabled is that they have enabled aerial surveying, tracking project progress, and even ensuring worker safety. The other thing is the drones have drastically reduced time and risk involvement in site inspections. The third pillar of digital transformation is immersive technology, whereby we see the presence or the availability of virtual reality and augmented reality. The virtual reality allows people or construction workers or even the site surveyors to walk through a building before construction starts, helping clients and teams involved visualize the space and spot issues early, while the augmented reality or the AR, on the other hand, brings plan to life on site using glasses or tablets to superimpose digital designs onto the actual environment. These technologies show us that it is possible when that there's a possibility that when the construction industry embraces innovation, there is a bigger upgrade and even higher growth. But while we celebrate progress, we must also confront the gaps that still threaten quality, safety, and trust in the sector. Because underneath the impressive skylines and mega projects, there are cracks, and not just in the concrete. Therefore, let's look at what often goes unseen underneath these cracks. Issues like poor data visibility, where many construction projects have critical data scattered across paper forms, Excel sheets, emails, or standalone systems. There is often no single source of truth, which makes it hard to know, or rather, which makes it hard to know where materials came from, who supplied these materials, and whether these materials have met the required set standards. This lack of real-time visibility causes miscommunications, causes delays, and even brings costly errors on board. Especially this happens especially in large and multi-vendor projects. The other unseen crack that the industry has not addressed is negligence in material handling. This often leads to errors in product descriptions, inconsistent unit of measurement, and even missing or duplicated information. Such inaccuracies disrupt the supply chain, cause delivery mismatches, and make it hard to trace materials back to their source. Ultimately, poor data capture weakens accountability, inflates cost, and undermines quality control. Therefore, what happens when these cracks are left unaddressed? They evolve into serious threats. They become crime. Weak links in the construction supply chain creates breeding ground for criminal activity. Lack of traceability, unregulated procurement, and poor enforcement enable counterfeit materials, especially cement, to silently enter or creep into the market. These fake products may look legitimate on the outside, but they are structurally weak. And the cost isn't just financial, it puts lives at risk. This is not just theory, it is happening. Here is a real footage from a recent expose aired by one of the national televisions, TV47 Kenya. It shows how counterfeit cement is being produced, how the cement is being packaged and sold on the market. As you watch, I want you to think about one thing. How many construction projects, both public or even private, might already been compromised because of the fake materials? Let's watch.
The Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, Directorate of Criminal Investigation and the Anti-Counterfeit Authority, among others, have unearthed an illegal cement cartel involved in the manufacture and sale of counterfeit and substandard cement while conducting a market surveillance. During the operation targeting the hotspots of these illegal activities in Athi River, Syokimau and Kitengela, 13 suspects were arrested and will be arraigned in court to face charges related to the illegal activities. 8 trucks were intercepted while loaded with the siphoned, adulterated and repackaged bags of cement from major brands.
From the video you have watched, the net effects of using substandards or counterfeit building material is speaking loud to us from the picture displayed on your screen. This picture shows a controlled demolition by the Kenya Defence Forces in Kilifi Corner, a project that couldn't guarantee structural integrity. And again, a tragic collapse in Kahawa West last year, one of the many buildings that never made it to completion due to poor quality materials. These aren't just isolated events. They are part of the growing crisis fueled by lack of traceability, weak regulation, and substandard supply chains. The effects go beyond the physical damage. Other consequences include loss of reputation and credibility, regulatory and legal consequences, environmental and material waste, loss of finances, and therefore without standards, construction becomes a gamble, and these images shows the cost when the gamble falls, or rather when the gamble fails. We have seen the cracks. Now let us talk solutions. The question would be, what if materials could speak? And what if every bag of cement, every steel rod, every shipment had a unique identity? Rather, had a unique identity that could be tracked from source to site. That's exactly what GS1 makes it possible to. Before we look at what the GS1 standards of identification, capturing, and sharing does, or rather can do in the construction sector, let's look at a typical construction supply chain today. On your screen, you can see the stages under which the cement passes through before it reaches the construction site from the extraction point. This is a typical construction supply chain today where each player works in isolation. There is little to no visibility between stages. Data is captured manually or even not captured at all. This leads to delays, duplication, and a higher risk of fraud or counterfeit material entering the market. And therefore, with the GS1 standard, each material is given a unique digital identity using a standard barcode or data carrier. This ID carries all the information about what this product is, who made this product, and even where it was made and where it should go. anyone in the construction supply chain can scan and instantly know the truth. That same barcode that carries this information can be scanned throughout the entire supply chain. Now we can track where our product is, where it has been, and whether it arrived on time. It is traceability simplified and standardized. Ultimately, the GS1 system of standard doesn't just label products, it enables seamless data sharing between systems. Whether these systems are ERP, logistics, procurement, or even compliance platforms, GS1 standards provide a common language where everyone is working from the same data in real time. Let us revisit the cement supply chain, only this time with GS1 standards in action. By applying globally recognized identifiers like the global trade item number, the global location number, the serial shipping container code, and even the global service relation number, and encoding them into the GS1 data carriers like the 2D barcodes and the linear barcodes, we transform every step of the journey from the manufacturers to the construction site. That is, every product, every location, and every movement is uniquely identified, scanned, recorded, and even shared across platforms. The results? A supply chain that is no longer blind, but one built on visibility, accountability, and trust. Before we proceed, I would like to share a video that illustrates fully or in depth the GS1 standards in action. Let's have a look.
Construction industry supply chains across the globe are becoming digital. Traceability of building materials is increasingly important. GS1 standards, including global trade item numbers, are helping to make this possible. Modern buildings are complex. They have many parts and serve diverse purposes for society. Increased complexity creates real challenges as we build bigger and better structures using fewer resources and with more efficiency and lower cost. Structural and building performance issues have emerged in many parts of the world. Our inability to trace and verify materials used in construction has resulted in catastrophe and avoidable human suffering. It is no surprise that insurance providers, financial markets and regulators are increasingly scrutinising the risk of major building projects. There is no shortage of good ideas, and there's much to be learned from other industries that have gone through a similar digital transformation. The future is exciting, however, we need to get the fundamental building blocks in place. We need to use unique product identifiers to improve traceability through our material supply chains. GS1 Global Trade Item Numbers, or GTINs, will make this possible. Globally unique product identification based on GS1 open data standards make it possible to track and trace material through international supply chains, from manufacture to installation and maintenance. GTIN use is becoming standard industry practice in many parts of the world to help address trust, risk and cost issues for the industry. The industry is changing. Supply chains are becoming digital. Traceability of materials is becoming critical, and GS1 standards, including GTIN, are making this possible. If you would like more information about GS1 and how global data standards are being used to support digitalisation of the industry, contact us today.
At this point, we've seen what the industry looks like, what the cracks are, and how GS1 standards can transform construction. But transformation doesn't happen through standards alone, because at the end of the day, standards are just tools. People are the builders. It takes commitment from everyone, from the manufacturers, from the regulators, from the suppliers, and even from the site managers to make traceability and safety a reality in their places of work. It takes all of us to build it right. GS1 standards are more than just labels. To the manufacturers and suppliers, they are competitive advantage. First and foremost, GS1 standards enable easier product authentication across the value chain. Your product can be instantly verified as genuine right from the source to the site. Secondly, these standards help fight back against the growing menace of counterfeiting and duplication, especially in items like cement, steel, and electronics. And thirdly, with smart inventory and batch control, you can track materials by lot, by batch, and by its expiry, and this improves both stock accuracy and regulatory compliance. To our contractors, when you embrace the GS1 system of standards, they will help you reduce mismatched deliveries. And as a site manager, you get what you ordered, accurately tracked and recorded. These standards also improved site safety, quality control, and regulatory compliance. You as a contractor might have full visibility on materials, making it easier to inspect, certify, and bill it right. And they enhance collaboration between contractors, developers, and consultants by ensuring everyone works with the same trusted data. As we speak benefits, let's not forget the regulators and the industry partners. And how do GS1 standards offer benefits to them? GS1 standard make governance and oversight more effective. You gain greater visibility across the value chain, helping you monitor material flows and enforce compliance with ease. The other thing is you reduce fraud and counterfeit risks significantly through traceable product identities. And also you enable e-government integration, where GS1 codes plug directly into digital inspection, audit, or procurement systems, making you work faster and even smarter. So whether you are producing the material, building with it, or regulating the process, GS1 standards are a win for everyone in the construction sector. Together, we build smarter, we build safer, and we build better. And now that we've seen the potential of GS1 standards, let's look at a real-world example. This short video highlights a success story where GS1 standards have been applied in the construction industry, and the results speak for themselves.
One Steel, we manufacture rod and bar products. We worked with GS1 to standardise how we do our product identification across a number of our business units. And it's been a very successful exercise. We've now got a standard tag across our operations in Newcastle, Sydney and Melbourne, all compliant with GS1 standards, and our customers are starting to really embrace using that scanning and capability of those product tags.
Our operators needed to do a lot of manual translation of tagging information. The inconsistency in the tagging meant they had to work harder at identifying bundles. But with the new tagging system, enable them to be able to read tags more consistently, enables our inventory balancing to be a better stock take. And on average, we save around 10 minutes per truck loading. So it's been a huge success. In the area of customer, the benefit that we have is the traceability of the tagging system. We're able to better understand and track our product. We're able to get checks and balances against putting product on truck so we get it right first time and we don't encumber our customer with incorrect deliveries.
OneSteel went down the track of implementing a system in their warehouse to prevent errors coming out to their customer. Prior to that, we had to record all the separate pieces of information manually off the OneSteel tag. We saw that as an opportunity to take that technology and implement it into our incoming materials, removing considerable amounts of paperwork in probably 1/10 of the time it used to take. But once we got talking to OneSteel and they introduced us to GS1, we realised that if we used a standard that we could get the information easily. And what happens now is that we have error-free entry of all our inbound material. And that means then that people aren't tied up trying to sort out a problem if someone makes an incorrect transaction. So we can make sure it gets to where it has to go when it needs to be there. One scan, all collected, done.
And as I conclude this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, the construction industry doesn't just shape skylines. It shapes livelihoods and shapes the national progress. But to truly build a stronger nation, we must build with integrity, we must build with visibility, and we must build with trust. GS1 standards offer us a way forward. It is a system that ensures every material used is authentic, that every delivery is traceable, and every project is accounted for. Let us not wait for the next collapse or the next crisis. Let us unite as manufacturers, suppliers, engineers, and regulators to build smarter and safer. Together, let us build a stronger nation. Thank you very much for listening to me. And should you need any information regarding the full application of the GS1 standard, please reach us out through the contact displayed on your screen, or even you can just pay us a visit at our offices in Next Gen Mall, 5th floor along Mombasa Road. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoffrey Allo, for that amazing presentation on construction sector.
Thank you very much, Munyoki. Believe it has been wonderful.
Yes, it has. Now, thank you for all our viewers and our members who are currently watching this. Thank you for staying tuned up to this last session of day 2 of GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025. Now, as I said, the chat is open, and if you have any questions regarding the construction sector for Geoffrey Allo, kindly ask. He is ready to answer them. He is our brilliant mind and our training executive, so he will be sure to answer your questions. For any questions that you have, please write it down on the chat. The chat is open and he'll be ready to answer. And for all those who are watching on Traceability TV, hello, and thank you for tuning in. Kindly subscribe to our channel. We have so much content that we offer on a weekly basis and even news updates every Sunday. So please, if you want to see more of GS1 Kenya and everything that we have to offer, please go to Traceability TV and subscribe to our channel. Now, I have some credit here. I'll be giving out a gift hamper. So it's either I'll ask a question or you ask a question, and I'll be able to figure out who I'll be giving the gift hamper to. So are you ready for the credit? It is a Safaricom line credit, and I'm starting to read the numbers now. *141*. Are you ready for the numbers? 5495796094162781. So if you got that, kindly type on the chat. The chat is open. Type that you got the credit, and if no one has gotten it, I will read the numbers once again. That is for Safaricom, and now I'm going to read for Airtel, and it starts with *130*. I hope you've written that down. Now I'm reading the numbers. Are you ready? Get your pen. 6539468725039. If you got that, please say that you got the Airtel one or you got the Safaricom. Please specify so that we can move on and I can give out more the lucky winner. Now, Geoffrey, are you ready for your first question?
Very ready for my first question.
Okay. Why is GS1 focusing on the construction sector now?
Generally, we are in over 25 sectors. And currently, GS1, we've been focusing on retail and marketplaces. We've also delved into the healthcare sector, and so far, so good. We've been good with it. Then there's the agribusiness. And then we realized that there's an opportunity for us to grasp in the construction sector. And that's why we, as GS1 Kenya, we believe that it is a new opportunity for us to now put in our standards and maybe see how it will work as so far with the retail and healthcare. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So for those watching on Traceability TV, thank you so much. We have our YouTube channel over there, and if you would like to see more content, we share that on Traceability TV. And for those, I'm going to read the credit once again because I don't think anyone got it. This is the Safaricom credit line. It starts with *141*. Then I read the numbers. I'm starting. 594 5495 5495 7960 9416 27. I hope you got that. And to the lucky winner, please let us know that you got the credit. And now for Airtel, pay attention. *130* 65394 687250390. So if you get either of the read, please let us know that you got it so that we can move on. And once again, I do have a gift hamper to give out, and I will give it out to the person who asked Geoffrey Alo a question on the construction sector and regarding his presentation. So if you have a question, type it out for Geoffrey and you will be the lucky winner who gets a gift hamper delivered to you as possible. Also, for session etiquette, I'd like you to type out your name and your company, which company you're representing here today, so that we can be able to engage better and for you to have a better experience. Also, turn to speaker view so that you see us more clearly and have a better experience as we continue with this session. Now, ask Geoffrey Alo a question and you get a gift hamper. And if you've gotten the credit that I've just read out right now, please let us know so that I can read even more, and maybe you may be the lucky winner once again. For those watching on Traceability TV, thank you. And to our sponsors who have sponsored our gift hampers for the day, it's Fayaz Bakers, Sunbeat, and Aquabreeze. Feel the breeze. Thank you so much. So thank you so much. And a shout out to you for being so awesome. Now, moving on, Geoffrey, what role do GS1 standards in improving safety in the construction industry?
Now, if you are keen enough with the previous presenters, they talked about the primary or the core business of GS1, which is simply traceability and data management. And the building blocks of the data management and traceability is simply the three basic standards that we as GS1 and GS1 Kenya offer. That is the standards of identification, capturing and sharing. And in the construction supply chain, we hope to that once we delve into that sector, we hope to uniquely identify items, for example, the cement, the steel rebars, the iron sheets, and even every bit of construction material. We hope to capture that information in radio frequency identification tags and even the linear barcodes, and even the 2D barcodes. And once then that data can be shared seamlessly across different platforms. So that is our aim as GS1 Kenya and entire GS1 organization.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. So once again, I had mentioned that the chat is open, and if you have a question for Geoffrey Alo, you get a gift hamper. Now, you have a question, Geoffrey. The question is, could you elaborate on how GS1 handles updates or changes in material information after installation, especially in long-term projects where specifications might evolve? Before you answer, I'll repeat the question once again, but I want to give a shout out to the person who just asked the question. His name is Bildad Mchemi from Full Care Kenya. So thank you so much, Bildad, for your question, and thank you. You have been a very active participant, so we are grateful. And I can see that someone, Mbwana from RCC Limited, got the Airtel airtime. So thank you for letting us know. I'll read now the Safaricom airtime one last time. Maybe this time I'll go a bit slower for the people who who didn't get it. So the Airtel number is, the Safaricom one rather, is *141*. Then the numbers are 5495796094162781. I think that was a bit slower. So Bill had asked you, if I can just repeat the question, is could you elaborate on how GS1 handles updates or changes in material information after installation, especially in long-term projects where specifications might evolve?
Now, there's the bit of a unique identification. So that is the starting point. So I would make it in using an example. For example, you're going to register for an ID at the GPO, that is the post office, and then you're told, or maybe your ID number or your ID gets lost. Really, that ID number that has already been issued to someone you cannot be given again until you are given a new number. So the changes in the material identities and material name comes in. Is it a new product, or rather, is it a product that is coming in as with a different dimension, or is it a product that is but maybe there is a few items that are changing it, for example, the dimension, or even the length, or even the expiry date. So in terms of the building materials, the kind of information that we currently host in the or capture in the 2D, or rather in the linear barcode, we have 7 attributes, and these 7 attributes are basic to the item, so they never change. The only thing that might change, and that is if you only and only if embrace the 2D barcode, are these other information, authenticity or certifications, or even the website information. Those are the only kinds of information that can change in and out. But the basic attributes, they are normally 7. We have the brand name, we have the product description, we have what we call a GPC, and then we have what we call the net weight and the unit of measurement. Those items never changes if a product has already been used or a product is already in the market. The only thing that can change is only and only if, as I've just explained, when you embrace the 2D, and then there's this other dynamic information that keeps on changing. So that one can happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. For those who are watching on Traceability TV, thank you so much. And kindly, our members, kindly go subscribe to Traceability TV. We have so many interviews. We have news updates every Sunday, and we have sessions and documentaries that we showcase there. The channel is quite lively. So please to Traceability TV and subscribe to our channel. So up next, I'm going to say another number for Safaricom. I can't see if anyone has gotten the Safaricom number, so I will say another number one last time. This is another one. So *141*. This is a Safaricom line. Are you ready? 135455587312796. I'll repeat. 135455587312796. That, please let us know. That was for the Safaricom line, and I will be saying one for the Airtel line. It starts with *130*. Then I'm reading the numbers. Are you ready? 621214295144117. I'll say it one last time. 621121429514417. So if you've gotten that, please let us know so that we can move on. For you, Geoffrey, let's continue with our conversation. Yes. How do GS1 standards contribute to digital transformation in construction?
So if you watched my presentation carefully, you understand that I talked about digital transformation in the construction industry. And we talked about the building modeling, talked about the drone survey, and even talked about the immersive technology. So GS1 standard provides a common language in which partners across the supply chain can speak without confusion, with consistency, and with accuracy. And therefore, the standards can be integrated with already available system, like if you have the you have the building information technology, and there's a way in which you want to identify specific location within that locality, you can use the standard GS1 identifiers like the global location number, and this can be also integrated seamlessly with this system. So yes, that is how improve on the technology that is already available.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for that answer. Has anyone gotten the Safaricom credit? If you have, please let us know. And if you haven't, I'll be repeating the numbers once again. For airtime, dial *141 *. Then I'm reading the numbers. 1354 1354 555 873 That's for the Safaricom line. And I'll read the first one I had read because I can't see if anyone has gotten that credit is 5495796094162781. Please engage with us if you have any questions. The chat is open, and if you've received the credit, please let us know. Be keen, and I'll be reading the numbers once again if there's no one who has gotten it. And then for the Airtel number, I want this number one last time. It is 62121 42951 4417. So kindly tell us if you've gotten the credit. If you've ever gotten the credit once and you're getting this one again, congratulations to you. Just engage with us. Let us know you've gotten the credit, and if you have Geoffrey, he's a brilliant mind and he'll be ready to answer each and every question. So, Geoffrey, let's move on to the next questions. Are the global examples of GS1 standards working in the construction sector?
Yeah, of course. The GS1 system of standards have been implemented successfully in most developed countries who have seen the need for the GS1 system of standards. So, for example, there is a company called Pandrol in Australia who have embraced the GS1 system of standards fully in their steel rebars, in their construction industry. Other countries include the UK, and even we have Belgium, and we have countries like the United States, of course, which has a bigger share in the GS1 organization. So yes, there are organizations across the globe.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for that practical example. I've seen Winnie has gotten the credit from Safaricom. I'll read another one so that, guys, be ready. I'm reading this one very fast. I have 1354 555 873 127946. I'll read it once again. 1354 555 873 127946. Again, shout out to Winnie for letting us know that you've got credit. For this last number that I have read, if you get the credit, that's that you have gotten the credit. I'll read the one for Airtel one last time. And if you've ever won and you're winning again, take the credit. Opportunity only knocks once. So 62121 42951 4417. That's for Airtel. I'll read it one last time. 62121 42951 4417. So if you've got, please let us know. And Geoffrey isn't going to be here for the whole day. So please, if you have a question for him, write it down. The chat is open and we'd love to engage with each and every one of you. Now, just last but not least,
yes,
what is Kenya vision for implementing these standards locally?
Construction is a new sector that Sai mentioned. We are coming in as new people. So in terms of our vision, we hope to explore the bit of partnering with manufacturers, regulators, and by regulators, I mean, we have the National Construction Industry Authority, rather, then we have the Board of Engineers. Please come together, work with GS1 and embrace the system of standards. And that is the whole vision of GS1 Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we close, I want to shout out to each and every one of you who has been tuning in to us live from Traceability TV. Hello to you and thank you for watching and subscribing to our channel. Please, our members, if you want our credit, also go to Traceability TV and subscribe to our channel. We have so much beautiful content on that channel, and it's all in the world of traceability. Traceability is such an important aspect in the modern world. Each and every one of us need to know and learn about, and that's what we do there at Traceability TV. So I want to read the credit one last time for the person for those people who didn't get it, and I'll read two so that this is read them and then we close. Okay, so get ready. This is for the Safaricom line: 1354 555 873 1279. I read it one last time: 1354 555 873 1279 46. So if you've gotten that, let me know. And the last one that I'll be reading is 1657 25 566691493. I'll read it once again. That's for the Safaricom line. 1657 25 85 666 1493. So if you've gotten that, please let me know. And then one last one on the Airtel Money. It's 62 12 1 42 95 1 44 17. So if you've gotten that, please let us know before we close this segment of the interview with Geoffrey. Geoffrey, kindly give us a parting shot.
We hope to work together with different manufacturers in the construction sector. We hope to work with different construction managers, site surveyors, and even those construction workers, as GS1 standard is a global and a unique way in which every product supply chain can be identified, including that person who is building in the site. Our call to action is, please come work with us so that we embrace the entire GS1 system across every bit of sector, not only the construction. Thank you very much, Marianne.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us and giving us those insights. Okay, I'll be reading the Safaricom line one last time. I've seen that Mbwana, once again, congratulations to you. You have gotten the Airtel Money. So thank you for that. Thank you for engaging and being so keen while I read these numbers as fast as I can. Now, I'll read the Safaricom credit twice for each. I only have 2 more to give, and I want each and every one of you to get something. So listen carefully. I'll try read it slowly, but I'm not promising. So *141*. I hope you've dialed that. Get ready. 1354 555 873 12 79 46. I'll read it one last time. 1354 555 873 12 79 46. That one was a bit slow. I hope someone has got it. Let me know. I'm reading one more credit line number, and it will be 1657 25 85 666 914 93. If you've gotten that, and I'm reading it one last time, 1655 666 1493. So if you get that, please let me know on the chat so that I can be able to not do these numbers once more. Now, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for engaging with us and staying tuned. We have one last session for the day, and then we close day 2 of GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025, a new renaissance connecting consumers with traceability and sustainability. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Sunbeat Club 99. Why pay more? Mbona ulipe zaidi? Sunbeat, feel good every bite.
This is the best water in Kenya. I'm not just saying this because I'm from here. I'm saying this because I've traveled all over the world and I've tried so many different types of water. There's no water that compares to the purity and the freshness of Aqua Breeze. It's so pure.
Wow, and just like that, we are done with day 2 of GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week 2025 with the theme A New Renaissance, connecting traceability, connecting consumers through traceability and sustainability. For those who have engaged with us, we are truly, truly thankful, and we hope that you tune in to now our day 3 of GS1 Kenya's Traceability Week, which will also be, and I'll even have more gifts to give out and more credit to dish out. So I hope that you'll be joining us tomorrow. Thank you so much for engaging with us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for chatting with us and also for taking part in the Mentimeter. All that is, we are truly, truly grateful here at GS1 Kenya. And for those who are watching from Traceability TV, hello and goodbye. Thank you so much for tuning in and for subscribing to our channel. Even those here who are on Zoom, our members, kindly just go to Traceability TV and subscribe to Traceability TV. You might just get a call to do 1 or 2 interviews. We are truly, truly grateful. For our speakers, we have gone from the retail sector to the healthcare sector and even into the construction. We are truly grateful to our speakers for giving us such impactful insights, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope that you took so much from it and you learned a way to put these things into action. Walk the talk. You have seen how our executives here at GS1 Kenya, how we walk the talk when it comes to traceability, and we want you to join us in the world of traceability. That's why we do what we do here annually here at Traceability Week 2025. So please join us and engage with us and give us a call if you need anything. And from there, I've been your host, Marian Munyoki, and tomorrow we have an even better day. We have a panel discussion and we'll more presenters who will wow you when it comes to everything that is GS1 Kenya and what we have to offer. As always, I'll be your host here, Marian Munyoki, and I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. EAT. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy your day and be right back here tomorrow for the final day of GS1 Kenya's Traceability. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.